When I was a child, I didn't hear the word Juneteenth until I was an adult. It was known as Freedom Day in our family when I was a child. And for us, that just meant a lot of food. In my family, we never needed a reason to get together and eat and cook a lot of food. So that day was never really questioned, never really talked about. After my great-grandmother died, the celebration of Freedom Day faded until it was reintroduced to me as Juneteenth when I was an adult. Now I feel that it is my responsibility to never, ever let it fade again. From my family, to my friends, to my community. Our Freedom Day is Black history, and Black history is American history. Last year, the city of Ashland, for the first time, flew the Juneteenth flag at city buildings and a banner across Main Street. That was the first of many intentional decisions being made to educate Ashland and to be mindful of others. Before I leave this post as your city councilor, one of the things I am hoping to do is to unite our community and educate our community, and so that Ashland can be the best Ashland that we can be for all the people, all of the time. And when you say the word community, I want us all to remember that it has that small word unity in there. And that is us. I want us to show up for each other like we always do. I want us to be here together like we've always been and be the best that we can be. I am so grateful that I get to stand here in front of you with my granddaughter to be able to welcome this eve of Juneteenth, which means so much to me, to us, to all of us. And keep in mind, tomorrow is Sunday, and tomorrow we celebrate at Pear Blossom Park. It's a great celebration that Base is putting on. And the last year when I was there, I just must say that it was like a huge family reunion. It just felt so, so good. So I invite everyone to come because it's a celebration of all Black Americans and all Americans. Thank you.
Okay, so as a younger Black person, my experience with Juneteenth has been a little bit different. This will actually be my first time commemorating Juneteenth because my immediate family doesn't formally celebrate. So I haven't had the opportunity to until now. But despite the fact that this is my first time celebrating, Juneteenth has always been very important to me. I'm the 5th generation removed from slavery, and I know that the freeing of slaves in this country has had a direct impact on my life and the lives of every African American. Juneteenth serves as a symbol of freedom and was the first of many steps for the liberation of Black people in the United States. In the coming years, I plan to celebrate Juneteenth by educating more people on the meaning, importance, and history, attending any local celebrations, holding my own celebrations, and inviting others to celebrate with me, and encourage others to do the same with the inclusion of Black people that they know. It's important that people everywhere know and understand the history and significance of Juneteenth and do what they can to educate themselves on Black history and liberation and journey. Now that it is recognized as a federal holiday, my hope is that it is not commercialized and that the history of Juneteenth is not diluted. My hope is that its history is taught in schools. My hope is that people will continue to take steps to educate themselves on Black history and liberation in this country. My hope is that Juneteenth will ultimately be embraced and celebrated by many. In closing, I'd like to thank the City of Ashland and Southern Oregon University for this opportunity to be of service. Thank you.
Mayor Akins served on City Council. She has been a journalist all her life, working as an on-air investigative reporter in Tampa, Baltimore, Seattle, and San Diego, and bureau chief in San Francisco television. She also managed major market newsrooms where, as a hiring manager, Julie offered opportunities to journalists of color, worked with affiliation organizations to promote the Society for Black Journalists, and led a news directors hiring group specifically to identify Black, Indigenous people of color in the journalism field. Since that time, she became a freelance writer and researcher. Her stories of the unhoused have hit major publications such as Yes, People, The Daily Mail, and The Oregonian, and have been featured on every major television network. Julie is considered a subject matter expert on housing nationality. So without further ado, please welcome to the podium, Mayor Julie.
Wow, I've been busy. People say this all the time, how humbling it is to stand and look out at a sea of faces who are so beautiful in our Ashland. And man, that doesn't even cover it. What an amazing day. Change, huh? How about that? This is our very first celebration in the city of Ashland of Juneteenth as a group. The first time, can you believe that? 1865 to now. It took us a while to get here. But as Toya said, truth marches very slowly sometimes, doesn't it? Yet here we are, all together on this day to talk about the liberation of all of us, the liberation of African Americans. I think about that day on 1865, and sometimes I feel like I was there. A hot, sweaty Texas day. The Union General goes out on the porch and says to the waiting people, "It's finally over. Slavery has finally ended." Can you imagine what the reaction to that moment must have been? I can barely imagine it. It makes me breathless. And then I think that it went all the way to 2021 until President Biden declared it a national holiday. That's a year ago. It took so long, yet here we are today, talking about it as American history, as all of our history. And I'm so proud to be here. You know, I was worried about what to say, and I asked my husband, who's the wisest guy I know, and I said, what do I say that hasn't been said? How do I do this? And he said, well, the only truth you know is your truth. So tell your story, whatever story you need to tell. And I guess it's about relationships, because you know why I'm here today, really? Because my friend and colleague, Gina DuQuenne, thought this up and asked me to show up for it. And I said, you met her. How are you going to say no to her ever about anything? And that's what brought me here, relationships. My relationship with my friend Gina. My new relationship with my friend Rick at SOU, who when I brought this idea to him, he said, oh, hell yeah, we're going to do that. My relationship with Craig, when I said, we need great music, and he said, oh, you got to hear Brooklyn. And now my relationship with her is this beautiful young woman who just opened my heart about 15 sizes a minute ago. That's what it is, right? It's a relationship. Us in relationship to each other, standing out here on this lawn, creating change and hope, just by showing up here. And this isn't the last time. This is not over. This is not over, right? We're moving forward, right? Yeah. We're doing this in the name of Aiden Ellison, aren't we? Yeah. Yes, we are, because that's the last time that this city is going to see that happen if we have anything to say about it. We need to take care of our young people. We need to take care of each other. We need to love each other in relationship with each other in this great America. Thank you for your time.
How about a big hand for our ROTC detachment, everybody? And let me just say, on a personal note, I want to thank them for their service to our nation. We're very, very grateful to them as well. Before we conclude, I think we should say, we should give a little bit of love to the person who wrapped all of this together for us, our MC for this thing. We are so, so grateful to have her on this team, Dr. Toya Cooper.
Well, we're done, and listen, my family would say, just go eat. Because in Texas, there is always some kind of livestock on fire on a pit somewhere. Let's go bend the arc, right? Speed up the truth, slow walk. That's our job. That's our job. Remind someone next to you when you see them, you are here for their actual freedom, right? Their actual freedom. As General Order that Granger marched around Galveston talking about. Not just your freedom, your actual freedom. So thank you. Enjoy the rest of this day.